Alright, Blackman Cycle. What is going on, everybody? We're doing a little first ride review on the CF Moto CLX 700. And first thing I want to say is she feels alright. The seat is a little bit narrow for me. There's a little bit of an indentation in the seat, and I don't seem to fit quite properly in the indentation. But it's not bad. It's not a deal breaker or anything. Very upright seating position. Tall bars. Not super wide. I do feel like I am up pretty far up over the tank. But yeah, and let's try these brakes out. Alright. Alright, brakes work pretty well. We got an LCD dash. We'll go over that in a little bit. Now, one thing I want to say, this bike seems very approachable. Very easy to ride. I mean, first impression. We'll get into it a little bit more. It has a neat sound to it, this liquid cooled parallel twin. Doesn't sound quite as good as the MT-07, but it has a nice sound. I could see getting rid of the cat and it being a pretty mean sounding motorcycle. Yeah. So we got an 8,000 RPM red line. Excuse me for the sniffles. It is February and it is about 42 degrees out. If it was any colder, they probably would not let me ride it. And I am 6'2", 220 pounds, and yeah, 31.5-inch seat height. It does feel a little bit cramped for me. A little bit. I mean, the pegs are down pretty low, so it's not that it's too sporty and my knees are up too high. Just a little small for me. But that would also make it very approachable, very comfy for a new rider. Got two modes, Eco and Sport, and we got her in the Sport mode right now. Mirrors are okay. Pretty good visibility with the mirrors. Now the tank's a teeny bit wider than I expected it to be, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I think it sounds alright. Getting a little wild with it. Alright. It has self-canceling turn signals. How about that, huh? Let's park it right here. I'll take a little break. Alright, let's take a look around the CF Moto CLX 700. CLX, I think that stands for Classics. Now, I think it is a pretty neat looking motorcycle. Now, CF Moto's been making bikes. Well, let's not say making bikes. They've been shipping bikes to the US for about, this will be their 21, 22, 20, this will be their 4th year coming up. I think they sold them over in Europe for a couple years before that. They made side-by-sides and ATVs for about 12, 13 years now. But it's a Chinese-made bike, and I think it's a pretty good-looking Chinese bike. Said it was designed in Italy, made in China. And who doesn't like the Italian design motorcycles, right? I take a little walk around it. 693cc liquid cooled parallel twin. It's got these Pirelli, they're kind of like 60/40 scrambler tires. What are they called? The M60, I believe that's what they're called. I can't see that. Anyway, you got a 17 in the back and 18 in the front. Let's turn this key on. That's kind of neat. I hope it shows up well on the camera. The way daytime running lights like that. Now the seat I was talking about, it's a 31.4 inch seat height, so it's pretty low, but it's kind of got, I'm not thrilled about the way you sit on the seat. I wish it was, I don't fit on it quite right, but it might be just perfect for some other people, right? You got these big rubber pieces down here in the foot pegs to help with vibration. You got this kind of Ducati Diavel setup with the license plate holder, rear fender, which is alright. I would get rid of it. Then you gotta find a place for turn signals. Somebody will come up with a solution for that, I'm sure. And you got this really funky exhaust. It almost looks like the pipes they sell only in Japan. And that's going to be a love it or a hate it with a bunch of people. Got the big bread box down there. I could see that. Delete it. And a nice pipe. Maybe you could do an underslung exhaust like a M4 Megaphone or a SE Project, a little shorty on the back maybe. So yeah, I think it's an alright looking bike. It's kind of Mad Max looking, right? You got a tank with the frame running through it. Not bad. 3.4 gallon tank. Gets about 49 miles a gallon. So you're gonna say about, in the real world, 140 miles a tank. I just turned that camera off and I didn't want to do that. So what do you think? You guys like this bike? Let's turn it on, take a look at the LCD dash. You are able to turn off the rear ABS if you want to go off-roading a little bit. Like I said, there's two modes, Eco and Sport, on this bike. And you got a cruise control up here. How cool is that? One of the things about buying a bike like this from CF Moto, because they're not totally proven yet in the United States, they're going to give you more features for less money. It works that way with every company. It works that way with cars usually. It works that way with bikes. You're going to get more for your dollar because they have to entice you. So, honestly, compared to a Z650 or an MT-07, which are probably this bike's competitors, you're going to get more features and you're going to pay about $1,200 less. I'll talk about the price here in a minute. Let's get her started and get back out in the road, huh? I need to be riding a little bit. You got your traction control button over there, hazards, and the LCD has your normal trip meter, clock. It's got a gas gauge. I've gone quite a few years with no gas gauges, and I hate it. I hate it doing the math in your head and swishing the tank around to see if you got any gas. I mean, it's not a do or die with me, but in this day and age, you should have a gas gauge. Look right here. We got fully adjustable front suspension, and in the rear I think you have semi-adjustable. I'm not 100% sure on that. If it's semi or full. You got a 320 mil front disc. It's a J1 disc up front, and it does the trick. I'm totally satisfied with the brakes. I think the Sport model comes with dual discs, but that's a little bit of overkill for this bike. Hello, puppy. So let's go for another little cruise and then we'll head her home. We'll see what this 74 horsepower feels like. And I'm gonna say right now, I believe this would be a good first bike. I'm gonna wait till I get on the gas up here a little bit. But now, I'm a big believer in starting on a small bike and working your way up. But not for the same reason as everybody else. Everybody else says they want you to do it because of safety, and you got to be safe and learn on a 250 and then get a 400 or a 600 and then go up. I'm saying I like doing it that way because it gives you more years. You'll have years of enjoying that first little bike, and then you could look forward to moving up to the middleweight bike, and then when you have that, you can look forward to getting the big bike. So that's my reasons for it. But I do think this 700 here could be a good first bike. I don't think it's too much. Actually, between 1,000 and 4,000 RPMs here is real docile. And then up here at the very top, right there, around 6,000 RPMs, the power really kicks in the power band, and which is odd because the bike redlines at 8,000. 74 horsepower. She's nimble, even with these off-road tires on. It feels okay. Yeah, I like this bike. But yeah, I'm saying this is a good beginner bike. I don't think that's too much. I don't think that's gonna scare anybody, but it's enough power to keep you a little excited, you know, if you're new to riding, or even if you're returning. If you're a returning rider and you don't want to spend $20,000 on a bike, 74 horsepower is enough to keep you excited. You probably go about 100 miles an hour on it. Now it is vibey. There's a lot of vibration through the pegs, and you can tell that's why they had those big rubber stoppers in there. But yeah, up near the top, it's fun. Yeah, neat little bike. See, yeah, that's why this would be a good beginner bike. It takes time to get it going up there. The burst of power you get between 6,000 and 8,000 makes it pretty exciting. Alright, let's get after it a little bit on the CF Moto. See, right there. That's funny. 6,000 and 8,000. That's where you want to be on this bike. Go over the tracks. Now, standing up on this would be a bit of an effort for me at my height, but I guess it could be done. You could do a little off-roading. Right. The twists are okay on this CF Moto, even with the Pirelli M60s on here. Alright, we got a little hill here. See how the CF Moto handles it. No problem, not with 74 horsepower. You wouldn't expect her to be. Alright, the CF Moto is nice. I'm sticking with my idea that it would be a good beginner bike. Although, you know, between 6,000 and 8,000, it might catch you off guard. But if you know that, and it's only that little, you know, 2,000 RPM, at the very top of the rev range, where it really picks up. It being slow through 1 through 4, up to 4,000 RPM will make it easier, and then the power progresses slowly from 4 to 6, and then there's a little jump in power from 6 to 8. But yeah, that would make it a great beginner bike. That's what I'm calling it, a great beginner bike. And this bike is about $6,800. I know right now, because it just turned 2024, that there's at least $750 off, but there might be a little bit more. Now, if you're interested in this bike, you should call Blackman's in Emmaus. Now, I want to say a big thanks to Blackman's in Emmaus. They let me take these bikes out, and I do not work for them, and I do not work for CF Moto. They're just, I think they're the best shop in the area, And when I decided I wanted to do this and I wanted to do bike reviews, those are the people that I thought I would feel good at night, that I recommended this shop. So if you're interested in one of these bikes, call Spencer over at Blackman's or any of the salespeople. But give them a call. I'm sure they could work out a good deal for you. Yeah, I like the sound of this. I do. Alright, heading back to the shop here. Hopefully we could do get a little speed going here. Let's see if this turn signal, there it goes, it canceled. Can't go too fast through here. Yeah, that little jump in power, man. So yeah, if you're a beginner rider and you just don't want to start on a 250 or a 400, I think this bike would be just fine for you. I think you should go test ride one. I think the fit and finish are great for the price. What you're doing is, though, you're taking a shot and saying, is this going to be a good, reliable product? Now, I talked to the salesman here, and there are a couple of them that had considered buying this bike, and they have confidence in it. The bike has a 2-year warranty, and I believe you have the option of purchasing another year or two. That's up to you, of course. And a lot of people are trusting it. A lot of people are buying these bikes. They look kind of cool, and they get more features than you're going to get in most bikes, you know. Yeah, we got cruise control, self-canceling turn signals. Alright, that's about it. We're going to have a lot more reviews coming up. Catch you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.